I remember starting to do articles in 1998 in Johannesburg, South Africa. And I was working for KPMG at the time. Now, some of you will remember that at that time, South Africa was in the middle of a political and economic transition. And there weren't many black people at executive levels within companies. Now, my second assignment as an article clerk doing auditing was at a German company called FAG. Now, FAG manufactured and distributed industrial bearings for equipment and vehicles. And as an article clerk, my responsibility on that job was to do the fixed asset section and the accounts receivable section. Now, from time to time, I would have to set up meetings with the financial manager and occasionally with the managing director to ask questions and to get clarity on certain issues. These were two white guys, and I'd set up the meetings, get my answers, and I'd carry on with my work. In the background, frequently there was this African gentleman, probably about 55 years old, very polite, but he didn't intrude or participate in any of our meetings. I remember on the last day of the audit, he came over to chat to me. And after a few polite greetings, he said to me, "I want you to marry my daughter. I want you to marry my daughter." I was a bit taken aback, and I was wondering, what's this about? The truth of the matter was this: that gentleman, throughout his entire life, did not have the opportunities I had insofar as education is concerned. The job that I had, he couldn't have even dreamt of. So when he saw me in that office, talking to his bosses, the financial manager, the managing director, white guys, as a young black African male, I was carrying his hopes and his aspirations. I was carrying something that he had always wanted for himself, but that he never had the opportunity to do simply due to circumstances. And his pride in me manifested in him saying, "I would like you to marry my daughter." What's the point I'm making here? If you're a black guy and you're doing a job, you are not there as yourself. You're a representative, whether you like it or not. That is the reality. You're a representative. And if you do your job excellently, you are keeping the door open for other guys who come after you. If you are crap at your job, what you're doing is you're playing into stereotypes and you're closing the door for the other people who need that opportunity. It's very, very important. You can't opt in, you can't opt out. It is the situation we are in. Now, I have to confess here, my performance on this job was actually pretty mediocre. What that gentleman drew inspiration from was the fact that I could speak to these people professionally and as my peers. That was the real thing that he drew inspiration from. And I remember when I got home that evening, I felt a huge burden on my shoulders. It weighed heavily on me. It weighed heavily on me. But I've always remembered that gentleman every time I've tried to do a job. Because when you're doing a job, you're not only carrying yourself, you're carrying other people with you. And if you're negligent, if you're poor, you're shoddy at what you're doing, you are compromising opportunities for others. Be excellent, my friends. Be excellent, because you carry the black man's burden. So focus, work hard, be excellent at what you do. It's not about you alone.